Hi, I'm Seth. Welcome to Thrift Store Tech. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the 1990 Bondwell B200 laptop. Is this big beige square a lost gem? Let's go to the bench and find out. This Bondwell B200 is an interesting little laptop from 1989 that I picked up a while back, and it's largely in the same condition I found it in, some cleaning aside. Looking at the yellowing and sun fading, especially right here and here, I can only wonder where this sat and for how long, not to mention what must have been stacked on it. If we take a look at the bottom, we can see the Bondwell B200 badge. And I had said 1989, but actually this model's manufacturing date is for January 1990. So this is slightly newer than we thought. But at any rate, you can see, of course, the battery is missing. The battery itself only provided 9 volts, which is only about half of what a modern laptop uses. So I was surprised to find that I was actually able to get this thing working with something as simple as a 9 volt, 1.5 amp universal replacement transformer from Radio Shack, of all things. Even kind of matches the beige coloring. If we take a look around the sides here, we have our floppy A drive next to our power switch. And on the other side, we have our floppy B drive. That's right, this has no hard drive at all. It runs completely off of 2 720 kilobyte floppies. Looking at the back, we can see our I/O ports. Nice metal plating amongst the plastic casing. Over here, we have our DC in for 9 volts. We have our 25-pin female printer port. We have a little switch for reverse video. We have a 25-pin male RS-232C port. And we have a 9-pin RGB out port. That means that this little guy can actually output CGA video, which is kind of ironic given what we'll see in a moment. Now, as I said, this 9 volt 1500 milliamp power supply actually does power this. It's nice and simple, nothing like the typical laptop charger that we see now. So let's plug this in and get it going. Now, it's a little hard to see this with the above lighting on, so I have turned that off for this shot. But as you'll see, when I plug in the charger to the back of the Bondwell, we get our charge light coming on, indicating that the battery is charging, or that it would be charging if we had a battery in there. And if we just push on the catches on the side, our screen pops up and open to show us off our 9 3/4 inch screen LCD. And down here on the bottom, we have a kind of cramped but still very functional keyboard. And the really nice thing about this keyboard is uses Cherry MX Blue switches for a great typing, clicky feel that I just love. Now, something I haven't mentioned yet is the processor of the Bondwell B200. It is running an 80C88 processor at 8 megahertz, very basic DOS machine. And with no hard drive installed, that means there is no native operating system. So what do? We're going to take a DOS boot disk into our A drive, and that is going to act as our operating system. Just to slide it into the A drive, and let's turn it on. It's a bit tough to film the LCD screen on the Bondwell without getting light glare like this, but I think we've got it, so let's see what we can do with booting her up. There we go. Bondwell B200 Super Slim Laptop Computer version 1.4, 2 disk drives, 1 printer port, 1 serial port, and counting up to 640 kilobytes system RAM. Once that goes through, we will get our option to choose our display, LCD or CRT. It's going to default to the LCD because we don't have a CRT connected, or if we just let it time out. Now it's just reading the A drive disk that has a floppy of DOS in it. Current date is Tuesday, 1/1/1980. Yeah, let's go with that. Current time is midnight and 39 seconds. Sure. And we are at our DOS prompt screen for the A drive. IBM Personal Computer DOS, version 3.3. Copyright 1981, 1987, 1981, 1986. So I am going to change us over to the B drive. And I'm going to do a DIR. to see what's on that B drive disc. And as you can see, we've got a few games on here, but the one I'm most interested to show you right now is this one. And on this old school DOS laptop with LCD screen, we now have Miss Pac-Man. Let's try reversing the video. Might be a bit more authentic to the arcade experience. And we are playing a perfectly good port of Miss Pac-Man on this little old 1990 Bondwell B200 laptop. And I died. And there's our game over screen. How do we exit out of this? Well, interestingly, the menu actually doesn't give us an exit. But this being an early 90s laptop running DOS, we can actually just do this. Turn the power off, and we will come right back up into boot mode. Screen is still reversed, so you can see the difference in there. Well, a black screen with white text as opposed to a white screen with black text. And let's try another classic arcade title. And here we have Frogger. Kind of tough to play with the screen flickering the way it is, which unfortunately that is happening in real life. And there's just one question that always comes up about Frogger is why can't the frog swim? I wish I knew. It's really tough to do this on the screen. Once it gets up to that upper level, I can barely see where I am. But there is something interesting about this port of Frogger. Is that if you hit the F6 key, we can actually start to darken things up a little bit more. Let's try that again, just see if it helps. Yeah, I got home. And it's a cinch that I was not a frog in a past life. And if I'm not mistaken, this will save my high scores to the floppy disk. We have our directory for Tetris on this disk. Always a classic. We're going to start with C Tetris, as that is the CGA mode. Classic computing, sounds of floppy drives. And here we have our Tetris screen. Let's reverse the video. Much clearer. Yeah, you really do take it for granted just how easy we have it now and how fast loading computers are when you have to deal with one of these. Still a little hard to see, but let's see how we look when we get into the actual gameplay. And I'm doing very badly because I'm forgetting which key it is to rotate the piece. Oh, wait. Oh, there it is. Now, of course, when this laptop came out, it would have been very expensive. It would have been a business machine. It wouldn't have really been intended for games. Can't let the boss see you wasting company resources by playing Tetris, of course. So we have the ever-popular escape key, which acts as the boss key. All of a sudden, oh, look at you. You're hard at work on a spreadsheet. Probably using Lotus 123. Revenues from different cities. Looks like our revenues are going up from January to February in LA. Very good work. Keep going. Boss walks away. Boom. You're back to your game. As badly as I'm doing in it. And game over. I hope you enjoyed our look at the 1990 Bondwell B200 laptop and a small sampling of the games it can play. Not a bad little machine for its day and still a fun way to play some old school DOS games. I'd say it's definitely one of my favorite thrift store tech finds. If you've ever found any cool old laptops or other tech like this out in the wild, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Thank you for joining me here on Thrift Store Tech, and be sure to check out my other videos, including a couple more involving the Bondwell. That's right, we're not done with them yet. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe as it really helps the channel grow. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.